do have a few light items for you here. How do you unwind and have fun and try and you're living in these terrible times? How do you try to find a little bit of enjoyment, a little bit of joy and happiness?
Uh, difficult to find that at least for a long time, since we have been, like I said, a bit of a doomer mood in a couple of months, even prior to the elections and everything. But in general, I mean, I'm volunteer. I'm a little bit more into the war effort than most people who are not doing volunteer work are. To say that I'm like a little bit more war minded than most people would be, but at the same time, it's kind of difficult not to be when you're bombed every day. To be honest, war kind of knocks on your door with very loud explosions as well. So in that sense, everyone in Kharkiv, at least, right, are very much about the war because war is all constantly here. But to unwind, I mean, I do play Baldur's Gate 3. That's something I do. I played this game unhealthy amount of times, and it's very comforting to me. It's just something I do to kind of like move my mind away from the reality that is pretty sordid. So I do that. I also, spend time with friends and just try to chat about things that has nothing to do with the war sometimes, which again is quite difficult. Just, sometimes you just try to, you like, I don't know, you cook some, I don't know, order food or you cook dinner or something like that, and it's all cutesy, and you thinking about eating some yummy stuff, and then boom, explosion nearby, and you have to pull all of that to the corridor or some shit, and it's like it's quite difficult, to be honest, to find any sort of solace or any sort of. I also have like very bad insomnia in terms of like I can't really sleep at all almost, which got only worse, and being like constantly bombed and alerts, sirens, everything doesn't really help me, obviously. And yeah, there's a lot of like stupid ass thinking, like should I wear good pajamas to if they I pull my body so I look good, you know it's very like it's quite difficult to explain to, I think, like people living in more normal life, because that sort of consideration usually isn't something you think about. One of the biggest memes amongst me and my friends is like, I get really nervous when alert starts to pop up when I'm on the toilet, because I really don't want to be a Tywin Lannister and basically die on the toilet. Seems like a very stupid ass death. So I really am like very fast, and I'm trying to escape as fast as possible from the toilet when shit explodes, because I really don't want to be that guy, who died on the toilet. But yeah, so silly stuff like that. Sometimes it's like very morbid humor that really helps, like this, pajamas, picking pajamas. Or like things like that. I actually joked about with my friend whose house, who has apartment exploded, and her part of it collapsed, and her bed stayed in place essentially, and she was on the bed sleeping. So she is woken up by this humongous explosion, like straight up at her building, and the things start falling from the seventh or like eighth seven. I think she lives on the seventh, lived on the seventh floor, and everything falls down except her bed, which she sat on. So it's a pretty horrible fucking situation, obviously. But she survived, and she's like, didn't have any like even like any wounds or anything, so it wasn't that bad. But then I remember her saying that. When she waited for the rescue teams to unblock the building and try to get to her from the roof to take her out of the apartment before it fully collapses or something like that, she was one of the main thoughts on her mind was that she was her legs were not shaven. It's very stupid, but it's like women talk about it all the time in Ukraine. Like, how would I look if they pull my body out? I want to look good, at least on all the cameras
Wait,
will show my dead body.
doesn't your hair
Yeah,
keep
it's just
growing after you die or no?
I think so for a bit. Yeah, for not for some time it does keep nails and hair keeps growing for a little while. Yeah. So yeah, so this very ridiculous like things, but they actually keep your minds off things in some way, because I don't know, like yeah. But I yeah, listen to music also really helps out. But the problem is I can't really do it through headphones, because I can miss like an explosion or an alert or some shit. So I usually listen at home through the speakers and things like that. But I used to like walk around the city with headphones all the time. This is something I used to do, and now I really don't do it much because of the situation and things like that. So yeah, it's quite difficult. If eating something sweet really helps. Also, don't tell anyone, but drinking does help. It's not a good advice. I'm ashamed I'm saying this, okay? But it does help. Many people, unfortunately, have drinking problem as is in Ukraine, but now many people just use it as even more as an escape route, which is not great. But I do it as well, so I'm not judging anyone too hard. So yeah, things like that. Trying to do regular things sometimes helps. Just absolutely like I don't know, like you like buying. For example, I finally went to check my eyesight because it's been a while since I did it, and it dropped pretty significantly, which I noticed, but I didn't know until I went. And I made got myself new glasses and things like that, and just taking pairs of glasses and trying them on, seeing which ones fit. It's like a regular ass activity that really lifts you up, makes you feel normal for a little bit, things like that. Yeah,
Gotta enjoy the little things.
yeah, pretty much.
How's your Baldur's Gate 3 playthrough going?
Yeah, I'm not going to announce which one it is, okay? There's been so many that I'm ashamed, and I'm not going to say how many runs I had. But I usually make like different, characters with different classes and things like that to basically just enjoy all sorts of things and do things differently as well and stuff like that. Currently, I'm running a Dark Urge run and having a lot of fun with that as well. Yeah, so yeah, I am making also characters for other people because apparently I'm very good at making very hot characters and very nice looking characters. Also, if I get a prompt how a person wants their character to look, but they can't really make it, themselves. They have a vision, but they can't really, make it. I sometimes do it for them. So I did a shit ton of characters for people, for my friends as well, to play as well. And it's a bit of a escapism, obviously, but it's a good distraction for me at least. Yeah, I don't watch that much stuff though, although I do want to see Arcane season 2 because I really loved the first one. So it's about to pop up. I think already is out, maybe even.
Oh,
So
I've not
I'm
heard
at
of that.
yeah. Yeah, it's a pretty good show, at least animation. But I don't know how good is the second one though. But the first one was great. Yeah, so sometimes you just have. I don't have much time though
Oh,
because of my volunteer work and everything. So yeah, finding time is a bit difficult.
speaking of time, we are nearing the end. I do want to ask you like probably three more questions and then get your final message, okay? Your final messages.
Hmm.
Um, you're a fan of Lord of the Rings, you've said. Do you want to tell us
Yeah,
about that?
most people sort of are like it's pretty popular in Ukraine. Maybe that's why we all joke about like orcs and Saruman and all that, and and us being the Gondor basically of the story, getting swarmed by orcs while European Union is the elves talking a lot on the councils and doing not much to help us, that sort of thing. I guess that's why it's kind of relatable to people in a way because and also it's pretty classic obviously story about like um heroic acts of resistance towards like very great evil, right? Destructive forces and things like that. But to me the best part of the story is about the little people actually having an impact, like hobbits, right? They seem to be like those silly ass little doers, right? They don't really matter in the great scheme of things. Most people don't know much about them. They live their own like isolated lives, but then they ended up being the ones who actually made a huge ass impact and changed the world. And that's something I found to be very inspiring about this story because compared to other nemesis, quote unquote, we are a little guy. We're a big country in Europe in terms of size, right? We ain't Moldova or Georgia or something, but in terms of our adversary, we are quite small, and that sort of story is uplifting, and that I think that's many people really like it, despite it's being like very simple in terms of like good and evil and everything. But sometimes it's simple. Sometimes it's actually quite simple. What's good and what's evil. It's not as complicated as sometimes people think it is. Yeah.
In April 2023, you shared two videos of an object over Kiev. and speculated, perhaps in jest, that it may have been a UFO. Have you learned anything about this object since, and what do you think the
Oh,
object was?
oh my god, I don't even remember that.
I could link you to
Well,
your.
well, what?
You tweeted this
Yeah.
out about this UFO you saw.
Uh,
I got
I
him.
don't really believe in UFO though. I don't even remember. You like bringing up stuff. I don't even.
I think you might have been
I don't.
joking, but I
Likely.
figured I'll ask because it's kind of a funny topic. But
Can you show it to me on like Discord or like
yeah, I'm about to post it.
Twitter?
There we go.
Yeah,
That
show
was
it
your
to me.
tweet. I could probably screen share it actually on this on OBS too.
Wait a second. In the messaging or like I try to see stuff from your
Oh, I tagged it in the general channel.
in the channel. Wait a second. Oh my god, I don't remember this at all. What the hell I was thinking? Let me see. Um. Uh. Yeah, it was a weird ass thing. I don't remember exactly. I wrote what in the actual fuck in Kiev. Where's the UFO thing?
Oh,
The alien
did you
thing.
not actually speculate that it was UFO? Did I just make that part up?
No, I don't. No, I don't think so. I asked what the actual fuck it was, and it's
Oh
like
no! In
no alien.
the second comment right below it, you put out. You said what? So what is this crazy flash of light above Kiev? Current theories: meteor, UFO, NATO satellite, Russians.
Yeah, just joking, like because
Okay.
I didn't really know because sometimes there are like war related stuff like explosions and things like that, and you like don't want to really, you know, basically speculate what it is or something. But in this case, I really saw the video and I was like, "What is this?" And I was asking people like, "What the hell is it? Is it like something dangerous? Is it like?" And also there were like memes at the time. I remember now actually what that was about was that the if something major happens, it has to be in Ukraine. So all world wars are here, right? First World War, Second World War, fought here in this part of the world, Eastern Europe, right, and Ukraine in particular as well. Now the biggest war is fought here as well. So if there is a meteor strike. That people are, fear mongering about quite a bit, then it should happen in Ukraine. And if the aliens decide to pop invade Earth, it should be as well in Ukraine. So it's just the law that we get all the shit possible here. Biggest Chernobyl, right? Biggest radiation catastrophe ever. Nuclear also here. So all the juicy bits needs to happen here. There's just our lot in life. That's what that was about, I suppose.
Can I have a few more moments of your time? Thank you again for watching another book interview clip. The full interview is linked in the description. Right now, I need your help. I'm currently running a Kickstarter campaign for my next recently finished book, Champions of Elanthia. Champions of Elanthia is my in-depth exploration of the world of multi-user dungeons, featuring interviews with a dozen Dragon Realms and Gemstone 4 players, telling their stories and preserving gaming history. You can help me bring this project to life for as little as $5, so please back the Kickstarter today and help me fulfill this dream. I'm also happy to report that the people of GamerGate, Volumes 1 and Volumes 2, are now available on Amazon in both Kindle and hardcover formats. Thank you again for your time.